Hey mommy, Concordia was a great place to have dad's 70th birthday celebration. The views of the Caribbean Ocean and Salt Pond, hiking down to the beach, checking out the old mill, and having lunch at local restaurants was a great experience that others interested in camping and hiking should do. Lynn Point, Turtle Point, and Peace Hill are great hiking trails that take under an hour, and you get to see Cruz Bay, the Caneel Bay Plantation, and the Old Sugar Mill Tower, respectively. What is the historical importance of Concordia?
Great question, Jada. First of all, Concordia, which is on the southern end of the island of St. John, has the largest beautiful harbor in the Virgin Islands. We get to this historic Coral Bay from Cruz Bay, where we land coming from St. Thomas, through, very mountainous terrain and lush forests. So when you drive into Coral Bay, the first thing you see is this expansive, calm harbor. Surrounding that harbor in Coral Bay is the historic Portsburg Hill, where the start of the 1733 St. John enslaved African Revolution occurred. Now, Concordia is surrounded also by national park land, and Ram's Head is a peninsula surrounded by two beautiful beaches. But the importance of Ram's Head, why it's such a historic site, is that even this year, just this week, we're now in December, right? Our Congresswoman has submitted to make it a permanent historic site, and the National Park is to put signage on that trail so that people will know that now it's between 1733 and 1734. After 6 to 8 months of fighting the European forces, right? The successful revolutionaries, right, had gained their liberation and were living, planning on making their, St. John their kingdom with laws and everything and a flag. They had maintained the island for 6+ years, 6+ months, and then they were finally defeated by a group of fresh Negro soldiers from Martinique. So that's why it's historic out there, but it's still a beautiful area. And as you walk back from Ram's Head, there's a beautiful beach on one side where we swam, and on the other side is a salt-producing pond where local St. Johnians, and other Virgin Islanders travel to during the dry parts of the island to collect salt. So it's a beautiful area and historic.
Yeah, it was also the different tours that we took, such as seeing the old mills. The architecture is amazing. How have the mills survived so long?
That is a great question. When we took our island tour, the one mill that is really well restored is Catherineburg. Catherineburg was a sugar mill and a cellar. It's maintained its beauty and awe because it's part of the national park. And I believe in the 1980s, they had workers for the national park who were also masonries. They restored a lot of the coral and ballast rocks, which ballast is the blocks which came from Europe that they put in the ships to balance the ship. So they restored those and many of the coral pieces. So that's why it's so well maintained. But the cellar area was just awesome. Obviously, they had to put in more cement and whatnot, but they use the technique of burning coral to produce lime, which is what they used, centuries ago in the 1700s. So that's why Catherineburg is so very well preserved. Another well preserved area is Annaburg, which we visited, and also part of the national park. So they have done a lot of restoratory work there. Annaberg is important because it is only a mile away from St. John, and St. John is, Tortola, a mile away from Tortola, which belongs to the British Virgin Islands. And the British liberated their enslaved Africans before the Danish, which the Virgin Islands was part of the Danish Empire. So Annaberg is very beautiful, and across from Annaberg is where you call Mary's Point. That is also another location where Queen Wefu and her colleagues, where they were stationed during the Revolution, many of them also chose death than going back into enslavement.
Wow. Thank you. Very great gems. Thank you for sharing. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.